Welcome to FPRC and our annual 2025-26 film, How We Shine. Foothills Pregnancy Resource Center has been a valued neighborhood-free clinic since 2004. But what does being a medical pregnancy clinic mean? What medical services do we even offer? Each client's story is uniquely their own. And when they arrive at this clinic, they'll discover just how uniquely FPRC will fit right into their story. From the moment a client walks into this beautiful clinic, they're greeted by warm staff who are eager to walk alongside them in their journey. But who comes to us and what services are they in search of? That young man you saw earlier, he was looking for answers surrounding his girlfriend's late-term abortion. Or it might be another pregnant woman with no health insurance and she's not sure of her next steps. Or it might just be someone in dire need of practical, hands-on help and assistance. So, in today's film, you'll meet our incredible medical team who administer pregnancy tests, limited obstetric ultrasound, and same-day results STDs testing. And of course, you'll hear amazing stories.
From my experience, no woman chooses abortion because she wants to kill a baby. They choose abortion because they see no way out.
A lot of people consider abortion because once you get pregnant unexpected, you feel like your whole life is going to stop, or you feel like it'll be a burden in this area or another area.
All kinds of situations will prompt the desire or seeking an abortion. Boyfriends push women into doing having abortions.
The pregnancy centers offer, so many services to women and referrals and medical care, and we have all these wonderful donations that we give to needy mothers and families. Despite all of that, which are all wonderful, ultrasound is pretty much the heartbeat of the pregnancy centers.
Looking at this ultrasound image here, a young mom that doesn't have any hope, that feels that she is all alone, she can see that image and she can see life. She can see that's her baby.
Our newest medical team member is our RN nurse manager, Cecilia, or Sil, as we like to call her. Sil has just completed very intense ultrasound training. And now Sil has the awesome privilege of introducing a new mother to her unborn child for the very first time. Sil gets to knock on the mother's womb, if you will, and allow the mom to experience the realness of the preborn life she carries within her. It wasn't too long ago at all that a mother's womb was a very dark and mysterious place. But now with guided ultrasound, such as this machine, all of that has changed.
It makes it real for the mom to see there's a heartbeat, there's a life, there's a soul, and it just makes it more real for the mom and helps her to make a decision.
I think it's very important for women to see an ultrasound of their baby, especially if they're on the fence of what to do regarding their pregnancy. It at least shows them, that this is a true living human being.
When those moms see the baby for the first time, this is when they're most likely to change their mind. When they see a heartbeat, and we see it even in our own private practices, before they get an ultrasound is one thing, and after they get an ultrasound, it's another thing. Now they know they've seen life and they see a baby, so now it's easier for them to keep that baby because they've seen life.
Foothills Pregnancy Resource Center was given a brand new machine this year. That generous gift, this Mindray DC-70, made possible by our local and national partners of the Knights of Columbus. So FPRC sends a huge round of thanks to Knights of Columbus.
The Knights of Columbus, since 2008, they started a life fund at the main corporate center in New Haven, Connecticut. And a year after that, in 2009, that's when the ultrasound program started. And so since 2009, the Knights of Columbus have donated almost 2,000 ultrasound machines throughout the country. And in the state of California, we're about 175 ultrasounds delivered to this state. Oftentimes, the father of the child will come in, and the father might have his doubts. But once he sees the science that's displayed on this screen, the human being that's inside there, the father is going to be impacted also, and that could change the thoughts of mom. And together, all these things bring more hope to an expectant mom. And so it's important for us to be part of our communities, to get out and make a difference.
Now let's hear and see for ourselves a few reactions from clients after they viewed the lives blossoming inside their wombs. The impact of medical ultrasound like this simply cannot be overstated.
It's a different feeling. It becomes real. Definitely. I think, just those 2 lines on a test aren't enough. So I really appreciated coming in and doing the ultrasound because it gives you that picture. It makes it all just come alive, I think. I would encourage a woman to come have an ultrasound. You get to see the actual picture of it. Because again, I think those 2 lines, they tell you you're pregnant, but they're just lines in a way. Like, you also don't actually see the realisticness of the pregnancy. So I would definitely encourage everyone to come see it. Today I got to see this baby moving like crazy, and I haven't felt it, but it's such a warm feeling, seeing all the flips in there and everything, and it was really beautiful.
Feels amazing. I'm filled with a lot of emotions. I'm extremely grateful for Foothills Pregnancy Resource Center, honestly, because I don't have, I'm going through insurance problems, and I'm so grateful that I'm able to finally see my baby. I love it. I'm so excited.
So good. Actually, it really did.
And yeah, I'm speechless. It's amazing.
And just what do our clients get to view that's so engaging during their ultrasound appointments? Let's watch now as Syl actually takes us through some of the most incredible images that she's captured during actual ultrasound exams. Our clients really do have a very special and precious opportunity to view who's growing inside them.
So baby at this time is about 1/3 inch long, and if you can believe it, making its own blood, and tooth buds are shaping in the jaw now. These X's that you see were the measurements that we did. This is the uterus, and then the black right here is amniotic fluid. M mode displays all of these heartbeats over here, the baby's heartbeat. So we measure it, and up at the top you can see it was 123 beats per minute, which is a normal heartbeat. At 10 weeks, the brain is growing rapidly, and external ear is fully developed. As you can see, again, the black that you see is amniotic fluid, and then it's within the uterus. The uterus is right here. The gestational age we got was 14 weeks and 0 days with a delivery date of December 3, 2025. Fetal heart rate 153. Baby is about 3.5 inches and can find the thumb and suck it. And then fingernails and toenails are beginning to grow. So at this point in time, the reason we see this white around here is that is the skull. Like that's bones. Anything that are bones turn out very bright. So this is the baby's skull. And then this little black area there is baby's stomach. Baby's spine. Here is baby's head, and that's the skull and one arm. You can see the bones. This is the report that we generate after the ultrasound. This particular patient was 17 weeks and 2 days with an expected date of delivery of September 16th, 2025.
What a thrill it is to watch when women are being introduced to their babies via the miracle of ultrasound. We'd like to share 2 stories with you of one woman and another couple who made life choices after seeing their ultrasound. Let's meet Zanaya first. Zanaya had originally called the FPRC to see if we offered the abortion pill, but instead, Zanaya received here a free ultrasound and then made a life choice to carry her baby to term. Let's meet Zanaya.
Everything was happening very fast, and I already have a toddler at home, so I'm just trying to like grasp the whole idea of like, dealing with 2 children, and I have plans that are like delayed at that moment. I'm like, how am I gonna, achieve my goals and things of that nature. When I saw my baby's ultrasound for the first time, he was very active, and for him to be so little and that active, it just already brought me like tears of joy. The feelings that I got from it was like, my mind was already made to keep it once I seen that he's already comfortable where he's at. So I didn't want to go along with the abortion at that point. It's still hard for me to like figure out how things are gonna play out in my situation, because when you don't have support, it's really not much you can do. Just like keep the strength, keep praying and keep strength, and knowing that everything will work out how it's supposed to.
It was a Monday morning here when I opened the doors at FPRC. As I was walking by the phone, I just had this, you can call it maybe a nudge of the Holy Spirit. I just had this, Lori, pick up the phone. So I picked up the phone, and there's a panting young father's voice on the end of the line, panting through his anxiety, for he was calling me from an abortion clinic at a downtown LA abortion center, where his partner was already being prepped in one of the exam rooms for the first step of a late-term abortion.
Typically for advanced terminations of pregnancy or abortions, you cannot just go in and do a suction at the DNC where they just crush that baby's bones and they suck it through a vacuum machine. It's not doable. That baby has bones. That baby is 2 weeks away from being able to breathe and from being able to live, obviously with support, but it's only 2 weeks away from being able to live independently. So if you were to perform an abortion at that gestational age, The way they do it is they put literally sticks of seaweed through the cervix, and as the seaweed sucks the moisture off the vagina, it starts growing. And they put 4 or 5 of those seaweed sticks, and they grow and they grow and they grow, and they're artificially opening the cervix where the babies usually come from when they're about to be born. And as the cervix is being opened, the uterus starts contracting, thinking it's in labor. When the cervix is open enough, those laminaria fall out on their own, and the labor process starts, and they end up delivering a baby, and the baby won't survive. And that's basically a way of terminating the pregnancy.
We were going to close at 3 o'clock that afternoon. He showed up just as I was closing the door. He proceeded to stay here 3 or 4 hours. We talked briefly about adoption. If by some miracle that story, his story, their story would take a 180. And I also sat calmly with him and talked to him about lost fatherhood and what grieving for him might look like as a male, what grieving for her might look like, especially after a late-term abortion. About midnight, the phone rang, and it was a totally different voice than the sound of his voice in the lobby, which you might imagine was very heavy and contemplative. This was a springy, lighter voice. He said, "Lori, we've had that 180. A set of family friends want to adopt this child." I reached out to both of about 1:30 a.m., both of our pro-life doctors saying, "Who can help? Let's get this gal in." So about 7 in the morning, this young couple drove. Both of my doctors were eager to step in and help, saying no emergency room would do it. Because why? It's a late-term abortion has already been started. No one's going to touch that.
In this patient's situation, she changed her mind, luckily in time, for the laminaria to not have done all the damage that laminaria can do, and then the laminaria were pulled out, and then she continued with the pregnancy. I mean, obviously she could have been caught earlier than the laminaria, because oftentimes when you put the laminaria, the process is no longer reversible. That cervix is dilated, and the baby's gonna fall out no matter what. So luckily for her, the process was reversed in time.
The couple, I'm proud to say, to this day is going forward with the adoption plan. This dad called me from the abortion clinic. This dad made the physical visit here. This dad relayed all of that information to his girlfriend. And the outcome of this father's vested interest, of course it's his child, but this father's vested interest in his own child saved this child's life. Before he left the lobby that day, he did turn to me and say, "Lori, what last bit of hope can you give me? What last thing can I do?" And these were my last words to him when he sat here that 3 or 4 hour visit day. I just said, "Tell her honestly how you're struggling too as the father. This isn't just her journey. This is your journey too. Be honest with her." I know the reluctance to do that might be, I don't want to scare her away. I don't want to make her angry at me. But the midnight phone call was to tell me that he had shared his heart and how his heart was breaking and how he was the father and he wished that she'd make another decision. And that seemed to be the pivot point. So this father stepping up in all of those ways, but especially sharing his heart, that made all the difference. And there's the baby who will have the rest of his life story. It's a boy to share his safe story. Honestly, these stories and others like them are why we do what we do. being a medical clinic staffed with professionals and all of the other supports and services that we offer here at FPRC. Well, that's how we can walk the journeys we walk with these precious clients. Healing the hurt after abortion is another passion of ours. FPRC partners with post-abortion advocates like Barbara LaSure. FPRC was blessed recently to participate in an inspiring event, which was hosted by Barbara at Pasadena's Rose Bowl.
During one of my devotions, I heard him say, "It's time for you to tell the story. It's time for you to tell the story."
Story
Yes.
meant the story of your abortion.
The story was my baby loss, my child loss, the loss of my seed. He made it very clear. And up until that time, there was really little time to think about it. The career, as I said, raising children, traveling in my job, I was going to church. And yes, there were moments interspersed with, wow, you had an abortion. So today, there is a love for women who've been through abortions. All kinds of situations will prompt the desire or seeking an abortion. Boyfriends push women into having abortions. Parents will take their children, their daughters, to have abortions. Women who really feel their parents have told them, if you get pregnant, you're out. You're out of this house, you're on your own. For that moment of time, and when you're pregnant, you only have a few moments, quote, to make a decision, because pregnancy, the baby is growing. So you need to make a decision fairly rapidly. And women often say, honestly feel that they have no way out. So they march to an abortion clinic, or they will do whatever they need to get out of that circumstance.
In your encounters thus far, Barbara, have you ever encountered any women who have made comments like, had I seen an ultrasound of my baby, that may have made a difference in the direction that I ultimately chose?
3 of the other ladies said, yes, it does. It would have made a difference for me, an absolute difference. It's hard to talk yourself out of the realities that you're looking at. To say it's a mush of tissue, it's not life yet. If you see the movement, the heartbeat, the activity, women are going to say yes. So the ultrasound question, I think it's a no-brainer. Most of the women are going to have a leaning toward a push, a desire, a decision for life.
Just imagine one of our clients receiving a pregnancy test, ultrasounds, and in-house STDs testing, along with monthly supplies and classes and services and supports for up to 2 whole years. The cost of all of that alone could easily surpass $4,000 or $5,000. I want you to know that every gift you sow into the ministry of FPRC saves lives, renews hope and hopes, transforms despair into encouragement and empowerment. You and your gifts are helping us reach and impact lives. Thank you for every gift that you sow into the ministry of FPRC. God bless you.
Without our donors, we cannot survive. We have a lot of restrictions because we are in a state that pushes for the other side. They would rather that we are not around saving babies, and it's very unfortunate. And so it is more important now than ever.
I want to thank all our donors. Your generosity is invaluable to this center. Without you, I wouldn't have had the ultrasound training that I was given here, and the resources for our patients would not be available. So I want to thank you for that from the bottom of my heart.
Foothills Pregnancy Resource Center saves lives. God bless you.
Foothills Pregnancy Resource Center is a very important part of the Duarte area. They can help save lives and bring hope to those young women and the families that are struggling.
Come to a place like this if you feel like you don't have a village. This can be your village, and they will take care of you like even better than your own family a lot of times. So you guys have done a lot for me and my family, and we really appreciate that.
There is not enough amount of thank you that can go out to FPRC and all the other pregnancy resource centers in these states.
Thank you for making life happen.
Thank you. You trained me to save lives and continue God's work.
Your support makes all of this possible, but we think yet one more story from one more FPRC client says it the best. We all know that lives were ravished in SoCal's recent wildfires, but because of you and the gifts that you sow in to FPRC, hope is being rebuilt into one of FPRC's clients.
My name is Sherry. Foothills Pregnancy Resource Center made a huge impact on me and my family during the Altadena fires. My family, including a very young toddler who has asthma, had to evacuate our home, leaving every possession we had behind. I was pretty far along in my pregnancy when we had to relocate. Due to my 2-year-old having asthma, we were assigned to a social worker from Children's Hospital LA. She was the one who referred us to FPRC. The social worker told us that Foothills would be able to help us get items we needed for our baby's nursery. That was an understatement. FPRC provided us with everything: a crib, a pack and play, a car seat, a baby bathtub, tons of clothes for a newborn, plus diapers, lotion, soap, baby wipes, and more. I was ready to pop when my husband and I went to the clinic right after my last OBGYN appointment. All this right in the nick of time, too. I had my baby the following weekend. All is well for my family. I'm very grateful to FPRC. Leaving our apartment because of the damage from the fires was scary. Even scarier was the thought that we had to replace and rebuild. FPRC helped us do just that. Thanks, FPRC. Thanks to everyone who helps FPRC do what they do.
Thank you for watching How We Shine, experiencing the medical miracles we're part of here at Foothills Pregnancy Resource Center. Now, when I say we, I truly mean all of us. You who are viewing this film, you're a part of our community of life and hope. Your part, your contributions, your gifts, your prayers, they truly do matter. You're making these miracles happen, after all. We exist because God has anointed and appointed FPRC for such a time as this. We're doing what God has called us and equipped us to do. Oh, we hope you enjoyed hearing the stories and learning more about our incredible work and FPRC's incredible medical team. Thank you for all you do and will continue to do for Foothills Pregnancy Resource Center going into the future. We encourage you to let others know about us by sharing this film. We are continuing to look for ways to grow our team of support. So thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for supporting. Remember, you are a part of the we. FPRC is here because of you. Thank God, and may God bless you. How we shine.